I'm trying to start running again, basically. So my goal is I want to run a 5K in under 20 minutes, eventually. I did a 2-mile time trial, and boy.
You was huffing and puffing. Anybody listening in that gym would have thought, the hell's going on in that gym?
Yo, Alfred, please, you got to play the last, 2 seconds.
With
or at least
the audio.
It sounded like everything except running in there. All right, Dr. Renee, let's jump into this next topic, all right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What are the 5 mistakes that you did? Actually, you know what? 5 is too much, but I got this from Reddit. And should I put... So basically, I know you're going to get on me about this. So should I name the person who wrote this?
I mean, it's a public post. I don't see what's wrong with that.
Yeah, so I be scouring on Reddit, y'all. So in the... some of this Reddit shit, I don't even understand. But r/medical school, that group, I guess. Natural... Plenty 73240 wrote 5 mistakes you did during medical school, which you regret now as a clinician doctor. Dr. Renee, 5 mistakes you did during med school, which you now regret as a clinician doctor. Give me at least 3. Doesn't be tough to find 5. Oh, shit. Word in it?
Met you, got with you, married you.
Yeah, you better finish that. Because didn't that help you get through respiratory?
Get out of here.
Renee.
Me.
Stop potting.
Whatever. Anywho, 5 mistakes in med school.
Give me 3. 5 is too much, and the audience ain't got time to listen to all that.
Oh my God. Damn, you might have to come back to me. No, Met You is not one. No, Met You is not one. No, actually, yeah. So one thing that I do wish is that I had been more open. That I had been more open to specialties, right? Because I went in thinking I was going to be pediatrics, thought I was going to be pediatric endocrinology very specifically. And so I was very on my rotations, I was like, I got to get through this rotation, but I know what I want to do. And it turned out that was not what I wanted to do. So I wish I had been, a little bit more open. I think I would have not just learned more, but just kind of enjoyed it more, right? Been in the scene of that rotation, whatever rotation it was, a little bit more. So that's 1. 2, I wish I would have joined an interest group, even though it would have been a pediatric interest group. But I think by not joining an interest group, I kind of I don't know that I realized, that there were not only resources, but kind of, what do you call it? Things you're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
You mean like a school club, like those school clubs?
Yeah. Like those
clubs,
school clubs. Yeah. Specialty clubs, things that you're supposed to do, right? In order to get into a residency. Huh?
You want to be a cornball.
I don't know if I want to be a cornball.
I want to be the secretary for the OB-GYN group. That's what you want to be?
Yeah. 3, I would not have run for or become our class president our first year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's stick there. Why is that? I want to talk about that. Why? So everybody, just so we know, everybody, I want you to listen. Renee's always been a leader, a natural leader. She's also really good at stuffing ballots. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
What?
Dr. Renee got elected under some... No, I'm serious. Renee got elected as class president.
Why are you making up stuff?
I'm not making up stuff.
Why are you making up stuff, Nee?
So you didn't run for governor? You didn't run for class president?
I didn't stuff no ballots, Nee. What the hell are you talking about?
What are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you being class president.
Yeah, you just said I'm good at stuffing ballots. What the hell does that mean?
Are you saying that's false or true?
I'm saying that's false, Nee. What the hell are you talking about? I really hate talking to you.
No, you don't. You love talking to me.
I hate talking to you.
We potting. Okay, so why wouldn't you want to be class president? Get to the point.
Um, I don't know that experience did anything for me. Especially in, and not just for me, but for my class, especially in the climate that we were in at the time. If you remember, like our school was very, as soon as we got into school, the vice president of the school just went like, like went like militant.
Hey,
He went
Dr. Ray,
militant.
this happened 20 years ago. You already paid. You got your receipts. They can't take your degree.
No,
Show us the receipts.
I'm trying to figure out like what's the right word. I'm not talking about the political, the nice word. I'm talking about what's the right word.
Hey,
Like I
yo, they
felt
try
like
to
he
come
went
martial law. They try to do martial
right.
law on
He
us.
was like, he got like militant. Like
Yeah.
all of a sudden
Yeah.
it was like, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't wear this and you can't wear that and you can't. And it was like, yeah, this is not really what I signed up for. And so then I had to like, then there were like fights because there was the whole dress code thing, which for me, I was like, is this really like that big of a deal? But to some people, it really was. And for me, it was like, it's a little inconvenient, but I don't really care because people were coming in their scrubs anyway, and people were coming in t-shirts and scrub bottoms, i.e., knee darko. Knee darko would come in, you'd have a t-shirt and scrub bottoms on, looking like an ER doc.
Pretty
You
much.
know, so you either had to wear
And Tim's.
scrubs,
And Tim's.
no
And
Tim's.
Tim's. I did
So
have Tim's.
you either had to wear a white coat or you had to wear scrubs, and that was the dress code,
Couldn't you wear a white
right?
coat and t-shirt in Tim's?
You could wear something, whatever you're wearing, but it had to be like, you know, like semi-professional wear or whatever. So anyway, the problem was that they couldn't police it anyway. But the student body or the student board actually they just kept harping on it, and I was like, but is this really such a big deal? Like there are other things like we should really be thinking about here.
So
You
you found
know,
yourself in the middle. You found yourself in the
in
middle
the
of
middle
like,
of a fight that I wasn't passionate about. Like this was not something for me that was so like, oh my God, they're making us wear a white coat. Oh my God, they're making us wear scrubs. I was like, it's not that big a deal because when we go into the wars, what do you have to wear?
gotta wear a white coat.
Or you got to wear scrubs.
Right.
So I understand we in the classroom the first 2 years, but damn, why was it such a big deal? That's for me. I was like, there are
People
other things that
don't
we could be
like to be
talking about.
told what to
What to
do.
do. And I get it. I didn't like to be told what to do, but I also don't like my time wasted. And I'm not going to waste my own time fighting something that isn't necessarily very important to me. I'm like, so what? I'll just freaking wear scrubs. Who cares? I don't care. I'll wear a t-shirt with scrubs. The thing is, nobody was there taking a dress code. You know what I mean? After the first couple of days,
Oh, there
people
was
were
an
like, yeah,
attendance. There was an attendance
there was
rule.
attendance. There was
Yeah.
attendance. But
Yeah, you're
after
right.
a while, nobody was paying attention to what we were doing. Nobody was paying attention to it, which is why I was like, damn, the more attention we bring to this, the more attention they're going to pay to it. So let's just
What,
leave
what
it
was
alone.
what were some of your other duties as president that you had to do?
I don't even remember because this thing was, my presidency was marred by this one thing so much. I don't even remember all the other things. Like, I was just like, why is this such a, every single meeting was about the dress code. And so finally I was like, guys, is this really such a big deal? Like nobody's even paying attention anymore. And then all of a sudden,
Mutiny! Mutiny!
basically people were clutching their pearls. I was like, damn, what did I say? I was like, damn, what did I say? Like,
Do you
you
feel like
know,
it got in your way of studying?
no, not at all.
Mm.
Not at all. It didn't. That was the one thing I could definitely say, like, being class president didn't get in my way of studying. And it shouldn't have,
So
right? Like
so why do you
that's
regret it?
not why you do
Like,
leadership
why'd you regret it?
positions.
Like, you just didn't want to deal with these situations?
For me, I thought being class president was going to be something else, right? I thought we would be talking about ways to better our class, right? To better opportunities for our class. Um, and it became about the dress code. And I was just like, I understand that this man has become, militant, and is instituting martial law essentially. But at the same time, I'm like, why don't we just focus on the things that are actually going to benefit us? Me wearing, you know, my own clothes to the classroom for 4 hours a day is not going to make or break me. Like, it's not. If I get to so what? I roll out of bed and I get to wear my own clothes. Woo! I'm sitting in jeans. Like,
Mhm.
how is that making me a better doctor? How is that giving anybody any sort of advantage or opportunity? Like, how is it? And for me, like the pearl clutching when I said, guys, like, really, is this such a big deal? Do we really need to? Is this what we really want to be fighting? I was just like, oh, so y'all just, for me, that's when I realized y'all are set. Y'all are set. This is why this is so important, because y'all ain't got shit to do. I got shit that I'd like to do, but y'all seem like y'all are set already. So you know exactly what you're doing, exactly where you're going. You got your connects. You know exactly who to talk to. I don't.
Mm.
And so that's what I wanted to do. So I think there was a huge difference in demographic between me and my
Mm.
board members, which equated to a difference in what I felt was important versus what they felt was important. And,
I got you.
I liked my board, but we just were not on the same page. We just
Yeah, so
weren't.
you had different backgrounds.
We had different
Def
backgrounds.
As a result,
My
you maybe
entire
had some
board
different
was white.
priorities.
I was the only one that was black. They just, I don't know how many of them came from medicine, came from money, came from whatever, but I didn't. I didn't come from that. And so for me, I'm like, I'm trying to collect opportunities here. I'm trying to create opportunities here. And I can't do that on my own when, I have a board that is working towards wearing jeans, because that's the
Yeah, I
most
got you.
important thing, And then you see what happened our last year. You see what happened the last year, right? When the dean then went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and was like, yeah, y'all can't graduate. The hell you mean y'all can't graduate? Like, what are you talking about? Right? So you want to tell a story?
Nah, man, let's save it for another episode. But I get what you're saying. Basically, what you're saying is the priorities that you had weren't the priorities necessarily of your board and stuff. And
No.
I got you. I feel you on that. Let me talk about one big mistake that I wish I had done, which I made in med school that I wish that I still regret now is that I realized that life and like there's a journey that you learn a lot that you can learn a lot from. Like I was just so everybody knows, people who don't know, I took 2 years off to apply to med school. During those 2 years, man, I would kick myself every day. Like, man, I should have been in med school the first time I applied. And I was pissed. I was upset, had a chip on my shoulder, and I just felt like I really should have been in med school and stuff. But, those 2 years off taught me a lot of things. It taught me resilience. It really taught me like how to like strategize and look at applying at med school a bit differently. And I think it also helped me to become a better student. It helped me to be really focused on what I really wanted. So I think that part of the reason I was really successful in medical school was because I took those 2 years off. And for me, I think once I got into med school, though, I just wanted to finish as quickly as possible.
But
And
wait, what happened in those 2 years that made you come to that? conclusion, or did you come to that conclusion before you got into medical school?
What conclusion? Who you think, you Barbara Walters? What question are you talking about?
Really, Nee? The conclusion that, you know, kind of what you were talking about with life and just looking at your, journey.
Oh, because when I was applying to med school the first time, I was like, yo, I just want to get into any med school, and I don't care what grades I get. I know I'm just gonna graduate, and I'm probably gonna struggle, but I'm gonna make it through. Like I already had this mindset that like I'm gonna get into med school, and med school is gonna be like this complete struggle, and I'll probably finish last in my class, but I'm still gonna graduate. It don't matter.
Ooh,
Yeah.
why did you think that?
Uh, I don't know. I think because getting into med school was so hard, right?
Yeah,
And there
but you
was
wouldn't have
this.
known that the first time because you did not get in the first, like, or not, but you see what I'm saying? It was your first time applying. So how did you come to that conclusion that you would be last in your class?
I don't know. I just had a feeling it was going to be a struggle. And, I just felt that once I got into school, med school, it was going to be a struggle. And more than likely, I don't know. That's kind of in
Did
my
you
mind, I
struggle in
guess.
college?
No, I didn't struggle in college. I worked hard. Like I had to work hard, but I wouldn't per se say like, I got to keep real. I got to keep it a buck. Like, I think a lot of times people be trying to like give themselves like false, like they'll make up false things, like false adversity, and people be lying and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I cruised through med or through college, but I just kind of was like, I wasn't struggling. And I think
Mm-hmm.
the issue for me is I lacked direction, and
Okay.
I needed like mentorship. That's what would really have helped me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So those 2 years off, man, like, bro, like that was like a big issue for me because I was like, man, this is like the first time I really hit like adversity. Because now, like, I'm telling people, yo, your boy's gonna be a doctor. He's gonna go to med school, and it's like, well, what you doing here working at Sports Authority? It's like, I'm trying to figure it out, you know.
Dunking these dunking
You
these
know,
rocks.
these rocks, biatch. You know what I'm saying? Yo, try to get these protection plan on these Jordans. Come on, son, right? But it's the truth, right? Because the more extended warranties you sell, you get commission off of them extended warranties. Trust me, I know, right? Trust me, I know. So those 2 years, it helped me to really. It's true. You laughing, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh my God.
But I would definitely say the point of what I'm trying to say is maybe if I had taken like a gap year in med school to do something outside of just like trying to finish, right?
So you
So
mean
clinical
while in
work.
med school?
Yeah. Yeah. So instead of
Okay.
doing 4 years, doing
Take a
five
leave of
years.
absence.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, we got our dual degrees, DO and an MBA. We did it in 4 years. And I was super proud to do that. But we had to give up our summers. And then we had to do
Summer.
MBA
You only
closer.
get one summer.
Hey, am I creating adversity again?
Yes.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
One
So,
summer.
but we did have to take some classes while we were doing clinical work,
Yeah.
right? That's real.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Yep.
think looking back, I think I would, if I had taken a gap year to do something medically related, but kind of not really like you're studying for step one or you're doing clinical work so that you can get ready to apply. Something that's just kind of medically related where you're taking a year off, you get paid, or it's like an internship, maybe in Washington, D.C. or something like that, or wherever it may have been, some medical mission work, global health, I think that would have really helped my whole mindset, my maturity, how I handle certain situations. I think that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I wish I had done because it's great to graduate, but also at the same time, like you're only in med school once, and for me, and I'm sure you can attest to that. Med school is fun as hell, yo. Med
Oh
school is
yeah. I do it.
fun.
I do medical school way more times than I would do college. I wouldn't do college
Would you
again.
would you do med school if it meant you didn't meet me?
Ooh, that's a good
Ooh.
question.
Because I always ask good
Ooh.
questions, everybody knows I ask good questions. You be like, so what day is it?
What day is it?
Who's gonna win the championship? Like, why are you
Who
asking
is
me these
going to win the
questions, yo?
championship? Um, I don't know. Because, I mean, you were a really, really big part of my med school experience. Um,
I know.
and I was a big part of yours. So, like, stop playing.
I'm gonna be like
But
Elon
I have
Musk.
a
I'm gonna
feeling
be
that I
like Elon
probably
Musk. State all the ways in which you was a yo,
do not quote Elon Musk on this show.
yo. There are mugs
Cut
in
his
our
mic
school
off.
district. There are parents in our school district right now who get emails from Elon Musk, and it says, "Hey, yo, oh shit,
What does it say?
please justify your existence in this in this what do you call it, in this part of the government." I'm like, yo. So Renee, in, in, in
Your
5 words or
existence.
less, justify how you can say that you're part of my what do you call it, my me getting my diploma in med school. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to be like Elon Musk. Go ahead.
Okay. Anywho, I probably would have still enjoyed med school. Because at the point at which you're in med school, it's not like college where you're taking these classes, especially as a science major. That's one thing I definitely would not have done. But you didn't ask about college. But if I had to go all the way back to college, I definitely would not have been a science major. Definitely
Man,
not.
I didn't ask you that,
I
man.
probably
I
would have
asked you
been a
about
theater
med
major.
school. Oh, word.
Um, I probably would have been theater major. But yeah, I probably would have enjoyed med school, even without you. Well, shoot, half of med school was with you, and half of it was without you. As many times as we broke up.
Oh,
Ooh,
see, why
burn!
you
Just like the kids. Ooh, you just got roasted. Our kids say that all day long. Ooh, you just got roasted. Uno reverse.
they don't say
That's
that.
the
They
new
say that.
one. Yes, they do. Uno reverse. Draw two. I'm like, what?
Yo, some other mistakes that I made is I would do more questions. I would do more standardized questions
Ooh, me
when
too. Yes,
when
I would
studying
have to.
for,
Yeah,
not even just for like step one, step two, but
yeah,
for actual the quizzes that we had made by our professors. I would have done more. I should have done more questions that were standardized
yeah.
instead of kind of going back and kind of creating our own questions and so forth. But what you did though, that was peace. That was great. You helped me out there with making my own
There you
questions.
go.
But
There you
you
go.
know, you know,
Score one for Renee.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But listen, guys, we gonna end the show right here. But I do want to end the question. I do want to end with two questions. One is, what's one of the, if you're an attending right now, if you're in residency right now, what's the big mistake that you made in med school that you now regret as a resident or even as a clinician? That's one. You guys know
Mhm.
you can text us. Renee's gonna tell you how to do all that in a second.
We're actually
But
gonna put that in a. We're gonna put that in a reel. We're gonna put that in a reel, and you guys comment on Instagram or TikTok.
And the next question I have is what I asked earlier. Like for real. Like I want to know, folks who are listening, like if you knew that there was a loan cap that is now significantly lower, and that, well, yo, we're talking about 50%, maybe even like 60% of your education had to be by private loans, or you kind of
Mm.
hat in hand to parents like, yo, or to family like, yo, I got you. Like in 10 years, yo, this this 20K, I'm telling you, yo, it's gonna be worth like 50. So just put it in right now. I got you. I got you for it in 15 years. Would you have
We
still
went
go
from
to med
10 to
school?
15.
Yo,
I'm
I don't
not
know the
trusting.
percentages. I don't
I'm
know
not
percentages.
trusting. I'm not
I don't know
trusting this.
compound interest. But would you have done it? That's a good
Hmm.
question, yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else you want to leave us off with, Dr. Renee, before we jet on out of here?
No, but you be potting for real, yo. You be
Real quick,
potting for real.
I'm gonna act like this is Robert's rules. I'll allow it. How do I be potted?
That you have you ever done Robert's rules?
Hell no. But
Ever.
I'm gonna act like it though. I'm still
Exactly.
potting. Go ahead.
Exactly. Now I'm gonna tell a story real quick. So
Go
one
ahead.
time when he was regional director, he had to
Of
run a
what? Man, you
meeting.
can't just leave. You can't just talk it.
He was regional
Tell people
director,
what's going on.
region 2 of the SNMA, and he was running a meeting, and the meeting was getting really chaotic. He called me up. I wasn't even part of your board.
Shit.
You remember this? I was
Yo,
pre-med
how I
board
tell these
member.
naysayers to shut the fuck up, yo? How I tell these naysayers to shut up, yo?
No, you didn't call me. You called
What I
me
do? What I
up.
do?
I was in
Oh,
the
I did?
meeting physically.
Oh, where?
We're physically meeting. You called me up to, to the front and basically had me kind of be your like parliamentarian. I'm like, what the hell?
But you did it though. But you did it,
So
and that
I
means that I'm
don't want to
smart.
do it now, which means you can't do it now.
All
So
right, y'all.
I'm the
We're gonna
Robert
catch you
Rules of Order
guys on
around
the
here.
next episode of Docs Outside the Box because Renee's creating this fake adversity like she got me through med school. But
I
listen,
did. I
make sure
did.
you answer those questions. We're
And I
gonna
paid
catch you
your
guys
loans
on the
back too.
okay. Stop playing, Renee. But
I
y'all, we're
paid
gonna
your
catch you
loans.
guys on the next episode of Docs Outside the Box. We love y'all. Sorry for the delay, and shout out to all the new subscribers we got on YouTube. We love y'all.
Yeah.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.